Welcome, everybody, to another beautiful Friday class. So let's just take a moment to collect ourselves in our space. Instead of collecting the contents of everything around us, all the things, take a moment to be present with the breath. Take a moment to initiate an inner gaze, an inner focus. Let's take our deep inhales, starting from the base of the spine and engaging our mula bandha, which is our bathroom muscles, and allowing that breath to rise up through the lower abdomen like a cord, going up the rib cage, expanding through the heart. Slight tuck of the chin and lifting up through the crown. If you're not already sitting on a blanket too, just go ahead and sit up at the edge of a blanket. This allows the hips to be higher position in the knees, which allows our spine to naturally elongate. So close your eyes or just focusing with a soft gaze. Just take a moment to be present, to be centered, to forget about type of tasks, any type of attachments to anything. Just breathing life into your body. We're going to start with a little breath work. So while we keep that deep focus of our breath, let's go ahead and bring our thumbs up to the earlobes and rest the remaining fingers on our forehead. Take a deep inhale in. Close the eyes, and as we exhale, we're going to exhale with a hum. So we'll do it together. Closing off the ears. Deep inhale in. Let's do that 3 more times. And when you're complete, go ahead and return your hands, palms down on your knees in a mudra for grounding, or palms up in a mudra to receive. Take a moment here to feel the vibratory impact, the soothing vibratory impact in the front of the brain, the third eye. Just take a moment to notice how everything is beginning to integrate. To notice how you may feel a little bit more present now. Bhramari breath is often used as an anxiety relief or as a way, a breath technique to help us come back to the present moment. So let's go ahead and begin by sweeping our arms up, reaching the fingertips up, palms facing one another. Take that deep gaze up towards the ceiling And then place the left hand down next to the hip, reach the right fingers up. The left hand down next to the hip, reach the right fingers up, extending as far up as you can, planting that right sits bone down to the earth. Perhaps taking that gaze up past the fingers. A nice deep stretch in the side body. Inhale, lift up, reaching the left hand up to meet, and placing the right hand down next to the hip, extending the fingers up and riding the breath, squaring in the hips, allowing both sits bones to meet the earth. Let's go ahead and inhale, slowly lift up, reach both hands to meet, exhale down to heart center, Samasti Tahi. Let's go ahead and place that left hand down and reach that right hand up and over the skull, with the fingertips just above the point of the ear. And then start to allow the fingertips to slowly pull with the breath. Feel that release in the neck, allowing the shoulder blade to rest down the back, allowing the shoulder to be relaxed. And just making sure that our elbow is pulled back in line with our shoulder, allowing the shoulder to be relaxed. And just making sure that our elbow is pulled back in line with our shoulder. Next, inhale, slowly release, bringing the chin back to center, taking the hand up off the head. Bringing the right hand down and lifting up, left hand placing the hand just above the point of the ear and allowing the fingers to slowly ride with the release of the breath, making sure shoulder is down, shoulder blade resting down the back. Deep inhales in through the nose, out through the nose. If you want to start to create a slight restriction of the back of your throat, creating your Ujjayi breath, this will maximize the vibratory impact, creating more oxygen, more pathways in your body. So it's really a great breath practice to get the most out of our practice. Inhale, lift back up. You can take the hands back to the knees. And then go ahead and just slowly lower the chin. And start to draw circles up towards the right, inhaling. And then exhaling as the chin goes down, drawing those neck circles. And as we inhale up to the top, let's go ahead and reverse our circles, drawing the chin in the opposite direction. And you might notice some creaks and cracks in the neck. Try to be present. Try to be relaxed with the breath, as we'll find more of a release. And let's go ahead and bring the chin back to center. We're going to get into a tabletop position, placing our hands underneath our wrists underneath our shoulders, shoulder distance apart, spanning the fingers out wide, just creating like an L shape here with the hand. So we have an L shape here. We're pressing into the fingertips, taking the knees out, hip distance apart, tops of the feet, toes pushing into the earth. Go ahead, engage those bandhas, engage that Mula Bandha, the Uddiyana Bandha, pulling in that lower abdomen and reaching through the crown. Nice strong engagement in our tabletop. And as we inhale, Let's go ahead and lower the belly, draw the heart forward, shoulder blades down the back, and then exhale, push into the mat with your fingertips, rounding it to the back, pulling it through the lower abdomen. Inhale, allowing the guidance of our breath to guide the movement. And continuing this 3 more times, following your breath. When you're complete, returning to a neutral tabletop position. No hurry to get there. Let's go ahead and leave our knees in the position that they are, pushing our toes and feet into the earth, and begin to draw and walk our hands forward. Gently placing our forehead onto the mat. Continuing to push our tops of the feet into the earth. Engaging into the core to protect the lower back. A couple breaths here, so just really allow your Ujjayi breath to open yourself up in this. Next inhale, slowly begin to walk your fingers, your hands back underneath your shoulders, coming back into that tabletop. Let's go ahead and place our right hand underneath our third eye or brow center. As we inhale, go ahead and slide the right fingertips up the arm, across the heart, reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling, squaring in the hips. And then exhale, drawing the hand underneath the heart, reaching towards the right side, gently planting that elbow down, side of the face down, and right hand is going to either prop up right next to your face as you start to breathe in, or extending the right arm out long. You start to feel a release in the right shoulder and the left shoulder. We also have an option of wrapping the arm around the back, reaching for that left thigh. The arm extended out long. If you're there, let's go ahead and begin to walk your fingertips back next to the face. And inhale, pushing into the fingertips, coming out the same way we came in, reaching the left fingertips back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, lower it down. Let's take our left hand underneath our third eye, and then inhale, drawing the right fingertips up the arm, across the heart, fingers spread out wide like rays of the sun. Reaching, and then exhale, thread the needle. Open palm, placing the right shoulder down onto the earth. We can start by squaring into the hips, planting our fingertips next to the face. Starting to breathe into this here. As we start to release more with the breath, I invite you to begin to draw your left fingertips out and invite that stretch, that communication between left and right side of the middle of the back. Feel a nice deep stretch in your rhomboids, in between your scapulas. your traps, your rear deltoids, even your tricep. Next inhale, slowly draw the hand back, prop it next to the face, and use the strength of your fingertips to push yourself up. Reaching the right hand back up, then exhale, slowly lowering it down. Let's take our hands in our tabletop position about one handprint forward. Well, let's begin to curl into our toes. And as we curl into our toes, find a strong engagement in the core here. And then slowly lift our knees about 1 inch, taking the heart in between the shoulders. Finding some core engagement here as we slowly press ourselves up, straightening into the legs. Coming into our first downward dog. Let's go ahead and lower through the right heel. Bend into the left. Hold it here for a second. Then inhale, lift up through the right heel, straighten into the left leg. Just notice the difference on which side feels tighter. And bring some breath awareness to that as we're holding on to that tighter side, allowing the breath to become longer, more full. Let's go ahead and lift up through both heels, extending from the fingertips down the back, elongating as much as possible, keeping that head in between the biceps, and then exhale, lower the heels. As we hold here our first downward dog, imagine the breath riding up from the fingertips, down the arms, down the spine. On the inhale and exhaling, allowing the breath flow down the legs, through the calves, heels, distributing it back into the earth, pulling the ball of energy back to the fingertips. Imagine drawing a triangular line of energy with the breath and the prana of your first downward dog here. And as we pull that ball of energy back to the hands, let's begin to walk with feet up to meet the hands, coming into our first forward fold. Just allow the body to hang here like a rag doll. Maybe starting a gentle sway from side to side. Lightly bending into one knee and then the other. Maybe grasping onto both elbows if you feel like you get a deeper stretch. And placing the hands down, let's go ahead, inhale, lift up, Ardha Uttanasana. It's taking the weight into the balls of the feet. Also keeping a connection of all three corners of the feet. Exhale, lower down, forward facing fold. Let's go ahead and take a slight bend into the right knee, plant the right hand down underneath the third eye, and inhale, sweep the left hand up towards the ceiling. Taking that gaze up past the fingertips. Inhale, extending, reaching, and then exhale, lower down. Straightening into the right knee, bend into the left, planting the left hand down, reaching the right fingertips up, extending that gaze past the right fingertips. Inhale, reach up. Begin to elongate as much as you can. And exhale, slowly lower down. And inhale, start to slowly stack each vertebrae coming up. And then taking our hands and circle sweeping them up towards the ceiling. Palms together, lowering the heart center, Samasthiti. Go ahead, inhale, reach the fingers up towards the ceiling, and exhale, lower down, forward facing fold. Just take a moment here to release the hamstrings into the glutes, reaching the back body towards the back of the room. Just imagine it drawing towards the back of the room as you fold further over. We need to take our fingertips down to the mat and step back with our right foot coming into our runner's lunge. Make sure you have a nice wide base, that both feet are in line with the points of the hips. This is going to keep you a lot more stable in your runner's lunge or any type of warrior that you're going to try in the crescent warrior. So let's go ahead with that awareness of the breath. Inhale, reach forward, and exhale, straighten into that left knee. Just kind of rotating with the breath, loosening up into the hips. And coming back into that runner's lunge, finding that strong engagement in the core. Inhale, lift up to your crescent warrior. Your crescent warrior, allowing those points of the hips to point forward, the heart to open, express forward. Finding that lift through the crown, reaching through the fingertips. Let's inhale, bringing the palms to meet, and then exhale, lower it down to heart center as we twist, coming into our prayer twist. Trying to get the fingers, the hands, in line with the sternum, and stacking both engagement in the right leg, pushing through that right heel. Next inhale, let's come back up to center. Slow as we came in, reaching the hands back up. Exhale, lower down, bringing the foot, step back with the left foot coming into our plank position here. Nice, strong line of energy. So with the breath, find some awareness, elongating into the spine, reaching up through the crown, reaching the backs of the heels towards the back of the room. Inhale here, and then exhale, right knee, right elbow. Exhale back, left knee, left elbow. Exhale back, right knee, right elbow. Exhale back, left knee, left elbow. Exhale back. Continue to do this. Left knee, right knee, right elbow. Left knee, left elbow. Let's do right knee, left elbow. Crossing it over. And then left knee, right elbow. Two more of these. Return to that nice strong plank. Elongate through the spine, and then exhale, slowly lower down, elbows right in the ribs. Plant the tops of the feet down, toes down, and then inhale, slowly lift up to your baby cobra. Let's go ahead and tuck into the toes, placing the fingertips strong underneath the shoulders, then inhale, slowly lift up You can come into tabletop first, but if you want to challenge yourselves a little bit, just come right back up into that downward facing dog. Just notice how much more released we are in this downward facing dog compared to our first. Next inhale, you can go ahead and slowly walk up to meet the hands. Lower down that forward fold. And then inhale, come up to half lift. Let's go ahead and interlace the fingers behind the sacrum, reaching through the crown of the head, and exhale, fold at the waist. Allow those fingers to rise up towards the ceiling or to the back of the room as we fold over. Next inhale, slowly lower the hands, unlace the fingers. Back down to that forward facing fold, planting the fingertips down. Let's go ahead and step back this time with our left foot. Coming into that strong runner's lunge. Nice stable foundation with the feet in line with the points of the hips. Inhale, come forward a little bit, and then exhale, straighten into that right leg, fold over. Inhale, come forward, lift up through the crown, exhale, straighten in, fold over. Just finding some movement, some fluidity in the hip here as we get ready to do our prayer twist. Come back to that runner's lunge, and then inhale, strong engagement into the core, lift up, crescent warrior. Now reaching fingertips together, exhale, lower it down to heart center as we twist, taking that left elbow down just above the right knee, stacking the elbows, pushing out through that left heel. Imagine a straight line of energy from the heel all the way up through the crown as we have those elbows stacked. If you have any type of bind or anything in your practice for this, go ahead and get into that. Just wherever you are. This downward facing dog, walk, jump, or step up to meet the hands. Forward fold. And as we're in this forward fold, let's go ahead and plant the fingertips down as we start to bend into the knees, lowering the seat towards the mat, just until the thighs are parallel with the mat. Reach the hands up and forward, almost like you're sitting in a chair that's not here. And then inhale, reach the fingertips up into our chair pose. Reaching up through the crown of the head, shoulder blades drawing down the back, biceps in between the ears. Inhale, straighten into the knees. Exhale, forward fold. Let's go ahead and inhale, slowly lift up. Hinging the waist up to straight line of energy. Reaching the fingertips up. Palms meet together. Exhale down to heart center. Let's go ahead and step the long edge of our mat. Bringing the feet parallel with the tops and bottoms of the mat, almost like your heels are reaching towards the back corners. So just imagine an energetic line of energy from your heel towards the back corners of the mat. Inhale here, allowing the heart to draw forward, shoulder blades down the back. Reach the fingertips up. And exhale, lower down, wide-legged forward fold. Either take the two peace fingers around the big toes on either side, bending into the elbows, taking the weight into the balls of the feet, all three points of the foot. Slowly breathing into the inner thighs, working the interior of the body now. Hamstrings. So it's in your practice, you can plant your hands underneath the third eye and fold that way as well. Next inhale, let's go ahead and lift up to half lift, coming onto the points of our fingers. Placing the right hand down underneath the third eye, inhale, twist, reaching the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Reaching up with the inhale and exhale, lower down. Planting the left hand underneath the third eye. Inhale, reach up with the right fingertips. Go ahead and slowly lower down, planting the fingertips underneath the shoulders and start to heel toe your feet together, getting into a yogi squat position as we lower our seat. Some of us might not be able to get our feet flat on the earth. Some of us might not be able to get our legs wide apart. Just be wherever you are. The key here is to continue elongating through the spine, from the base of the spine in this pose. So some of us have a tendency to hunch over. As we inhale, bring the hands forward, palms open. Hold it here for a couple of breaths. And then go ahead and take our hands behind us and slowly lower the seat down to the earth. Taking the soles of our feet together, Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. This is a very important pose for opening things up in the digestive area. So in India, the reason why they call this cobbler's pose is shoemakers there sit in this position all day. What they have found in India is there's little to no cases of prostate cancer, colon cancer, anything of that such because of that sort, because this energy center is constantly being activated. There's prana constantly moving through this area. So you might need a couple of rocks to find that position as we inhale, reaching up through the crown of the head. Begin to just gently fold forward. Using that audible breath to find that release in the posture. Next inhale, we'll slowly lift up, taking the hands by the hips. Let's turn back alongside of our mat and slowly start to make our way down onto our elbows. Taking a flex into both toes. Let's go ahead and unlace the fingers and take the hands out to a T and then slowly lower the right sole of the foot towards the earth, keeping that ankle crossed over the left. We can either keep our gaze, really focusing those ujjayi breaths here. As we start to find more release in the posture, let's go ahead and uninterlace the fingers and take the fingertips out to a T and slowly lower that left heel flat to the earth. If you want, you can take your right hand, placing your right hand just above the left knee, just like a paperweight. Just allowing, not like tugging into the hip here, just allowing it to act as a weight. So you can release more with the breath in this posture. This is a great posture for people to do that can't necessarily get into that pigeon pose or have knee issues of some sort. You're still getting all the same amazing benefits that you would in your pigeon pose, releasing into the hip. Next inhale, let's slowly bring our right knee back up to center, uncross the ankle. And let's just slowly bring our heels out, allowing our feet to flop over to the side. Maybe slightly tucking the shoulder blades underneath the back. Just taking a moment, allowing the breath to release, allowing the body to breathe itself. Relaxing in the toes, the balls of the feet, relaxing in the heels and the ankles, relaxing in the calves and the shins and the knees, and the hamstrings and the quads, the groin, the abdomen, the lower back. Allowing the back of our heart to ground into the earth, the front of our heart to open to new possibilities. Allowing that breath to rise up, planting the shoulders, releasing in the neck, back of the head, the ears, the jawbone, the tongue, the eyeballs. Just letting it all go. yourself to disappear into that vast, spacious awareness. That sky-like field of awareness. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Padme Hum. Om Mani 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 Padme Hum. Slowly begin to bring awareness back into the body. Maybe wiggling into the fingertips, into the toes. Noticing your body laying on the floor. Noticing the quality of the air around you. As your next breath in, begin to move and stretch your body as if awakening from a restful sleep. The impulses to lay still and do so. ready, gently turn over onto your right side. Slowly use the strength of your hands to push yourself up into a comfortably seated position. Eyes remaining closed, or with a soft gaze. Let's go ahead and bring our hands to heart center. May we always speak from a place of loving presence. Namaste.
Namaste.
Be sure to like this video or subscribe depending on where you're watching it. We have a lot of different classes, a lot of different amazing teachers, from sound healing to nidra to animal reiki. Uh, we were on the news last week for that, so if you like any of what you saw today, be sure to like and subscribe. And thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.
Oh.